Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat Daddy Show. I want to say good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Tuesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. I am your host, Chat Daddy. Glad to be here with you guys on a beautiful Tuesday evening, the last Tuesday evening of November 2021. We will be entering into December 1st, which is tomorrow, the last month of this year. And what a year it has been. Tonight, we're going to talk about the fact that today is Giving Tuesday. The last Tuesday in November is always designated for people to give back. We have a wonderful co-host who's going to talk about the benefits and the significance of giving back. No matter where you are in life, who you are in life, it is so important that you give to other people. And then we're going to also talk about the fact that tomorrow is World AIDS Day 2021. And we're going to talk about where are we now with everything that has been going on with HIV and AIDS. So it's going to be a great show tonight. We have all the latest gossip and entertainment. Sitting in the co-host chair is the one and only. Is that Rihanna sitting over there? Is that Rihanna? Is that now, the world's greatest woman, a national hero? No, that's humanitarian philanthropist, songstress, the amazing Miss Dion Nicole Smith. What up, Dion?
Hey, what up? I am just blessed and still pushing forward like all of us, right? We're just grateful to have each day we are alive. We have to walk in gratitude, which of course leads us to today, but we have to walk in gratitude. We just have to. And as you said, you jokingly talked about Rihanna. Can I have that $1 billion status? I'll take that.
Look, I'm so proud of Rihanna. We don't talk about her later on in the show because Rihanna is just doing the doggone thing.
Yes,
we just love and adore her.
Yes, she is.
She is. Incredible in so many different ways. We're also going to talk about the life and times of the late, great Miss Josephine Baker. And that's ironic that both of those women would be honored like that, almost the same day, such. Isn't that amazing?
It really is amazing. I just, when I heard that on news radio this morning, I went, I thought Josephine Baker already had some honors, and she may have, but I just found that fascinating. Like, okay, we're talking about decades after she has left this earthly home.
Yes.
She is being given this, which also tells you how much she was a force while she was here and how she impacted the world with her talent and her giving spirit, because she was just amazing when you thought about what she did and all of the children. And she was something else. Very
Absolutely. Special. Want to give a shout out to my brother George. He's watching us tonight. Hey George, how you doing? It's been a while. George is a really great guy, does a lot of good things. Matter of fact, I've not seen much of him on social media lately. George, are you okay? I need to probably creep on your page and see what's been going on. But glad you're here with us, George. Welcome to the show tonight. Hello, Scorpio love. We appreciate you so much. Good evening, you incredible too. That would make us a Scorpio trio, wouldn't it? We're both Scorpios. So yes,
that's
absolutely.
Right. Although I know we're in Sagittarius season now, but I feel like it's always Scorpio season. Don't you agree?
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Look, hello, like I would deny that. Like I'd be like, girl, no, it's Aries season. It's always Scorpio season.
It's always Scorpio season.
How was your Thanksgiving?
It was, hey, I was blessed because I'm here and my mother is here. So that to me was the most important. Obviously, things have been different for years. Once my father was ill, became ill 6 years ago, things changed as we knew it in terms of celebrations. But so I'm grateful. Don't have the big as we used to. I just spend time. I was blessed to spend time with a couple of girlfriends of mine. And then I spent time with my mother for days so that we could just spend time together. And that's one thing that I did because it's important. She's here. And after the fact that she has been blessed enough to still be standing and doing so well after having a stroke a year after my father passed, that's a lot. And that's only been a few years ago. So for me, I always say it doesn't matter. And we don't need one day to be thankful and grateful when we're grateful and thankful every day. And we try to prove that. And I connect with her every day. And that says a lot, So nope, didn't do the big blowout, didn't have a lot of food. This is probably one of the first years actually where I did not cook at all in terms of turkey dress. I didn't do any of your traditional things because me trying to live a slightly healthier diet, because of doctor's orders of wanting me to eliminate certain things. I'm trying to be very conscious minded. May not happen like every day, but I am trying my best. So I have not been doing a lot of what I normally would do.
Yeah.
So it was an interesting and definitely was a different holiday for sure, but a wonderful one to spend time with my mother. And like I said, a couple of close girlfriends, but then I was also able to bless her with taking her to see Paradise Square on Friday afternoon. So I was really happy about that.
In Paradise Square, one of the most amazing productions ever.
It is truly spectacular.
Yes.
And I love all of my people in theater and arts. And I can honestly say that was one of the best productions I've seen. It really was. The cast was stellar. Their acting and their singing and their dancing was on point.
Yes.
And just the Irish folk dancing and all of it was so good. It was good. If anybody has a chance and they can see Paradise Square, they need to see it. Because look, we got them lottery tickets, man.
Yes. Well, Paradise Square I was there for opening night. It was probably one of the best production I had seen since Hamilton. The fact that the lead character was an African-American woman, the fact that she was married to an Irish guy, the fact that it blended the two cultures. The beautiful part about it is people have been partying for centuries and centuries, and to see how they were all partying and having a great time and just in the tragedy and how they made it through things, it really was a great production. Now, here's the sad part. It is closing December 5th. Now, rumor has it that it's heading to Broadway, but I would love to see it be extended here in Chicago because it really is a great production.
Okay, unfortunately, you were going in and out on my end, so I did not hear the last thing you said.
I was hoping. I noticed your Wi-Fi was acting up a little bit. I said I would hope that they extend it. It's closing December 5th.
Me too.
Which is this coming Sunday. Yeah. And I really, I understand it's headed to Broadway, but I really would love to see it be extended here so more people can see it because it really is a phenomenal production. It is.
Yeah, I agree with you. I just was happy that my mother spoke up and said something. Usually, I kind of tease her and I said, "Mom, I love you. You got to let me know," because I was offered a free ticket when it first opened and I didn't take it because I was busy and I just could not do it on that particular evening. But I went, I could have arranged something. I could have figured that out. If you had wanted to go, I didn't realize she wanted to go. So I just was happy she said something and then I kind of jumped on it and said, okay, let's just see, even though I don't necessarily want to be downtown on Black Friday, but let's see what we can do and see if we can get these tickets. And, hey, I'm blessed. We got those lottery tickets. So we were able to go on down there and our seats were the bomb. They were row H.
Oh my God. Okay. Yes. Oh yeah. You had Chat Daddy type of tickets. Yes.
Of course. Now.
Very good.
I do. I mean, I'm happy it was lottery, but I've been blessed. I've worked enough and know enough people too.
Yes, honey. Yes. Well, very good. I'm glad you got a chance to do that. We have a lot to talk about tonight. It is Giving Tuesday, and I always love when you give us your masterclass on the importance of giving. And IMD Guesthouse is the recipient of a wonderful blessing tonight. Hopefully people will eat and partake in that. Let's talk about that real quick before time runs out, if people are out and about or they have time.
Yes.
So go ahead and talk about that.
Yes, please, please, please. If you are able, if you are close to the South Loop, if you are close to Roosevelt and Canal, or technically Canal and Taylor, and you are able to stop by the Panera Bread, 1101 South Canal. It's in that same shopping complex by Whole Foods and DSW and Marshalls. Every purchase from now until 8 p.m. tonight, we will receive 20%, meaning IMD Guesthouse, this valuable organization that I work for, will receive 20% of all proceeds, all sales. So please try to go to Panera if you can. You can order in advance. You just need to show, or you need to use the code PR Fund. So PRFUND, put that in the code so that they know that you are a part of this campaign. Or if you go in person, just pull up the flyer on your phone, and we have a flyer on our website, which Art showed. We do have a flyer on our website. If you drop down, if you look in the drop down box, although it could be on the slider too, still fund, PRFUND.
Oh, that makes sense. Look, that makes sense.
Yep,
okay, yeah, hold on. Let me edit it right.
Yep. So that's the code that you would use online, but you need to just show the flyer and let them know that you're coming to support IMD Guesthouse at the Panera Bread at 1100 South Canal. And they have a parking lot with free validated parking. So you definitely don't have an excuse. If you're out and about until 8 o'clock, you can run by there. You can order online in advance, and you can don't worry about it. You'll have free parking. And the good thing about, being able to just pull up the flyer on your phone, you can just, when you go to our website, if you don't see it from the slider, all you have to do is click under Get Involved, and you will actually see something that says Panera Bread Flyer. Yay. We're making it easy for you, and all you have to do is just literally show it on your phone, or just let them know and just pull it up, and so that they know when they ring you up that we'll get 20% of the proceeds. So thank you in advance if you're able to do that before 8 o'clock.
Yes, I was trying to get down there, and I noticed it started at 4 o'clock.
I know.
Where I was, and with traffic, I was like, Lord, I got to get back so I can get ready for the show. And that's the only reason why, because I actually was down in that area, but it was 2:45, and I was like, oh, it doesn't start until 4 o'clock.
I know. That's the only thing that was I thought that was a little interesting, although I'm so grateful. Thank you, Panera. Thank you, manager. I'm grateful that you allowed us to be a part or have this fundraiser tonight on Giving Tuesday, which is really wonderful. So yes, please. Thank you for your support.
Yes, absolutely. Well, as you guys all know, we're a health and wellness show. And on this show, we talk about the daily COVID update numbers and information pertaining to COVID. So we're going to shift gears just a little bit. We'll come back to talking about giving a little bit later in the show. Chicago public health officials said that they're keeping a close watch on the new coronavirus variant. And is it Omicron?
I'm assuming that it is Omicron. That's what I'm assuming.
Yes. Yeah. I remember going to grade school with Omicron. And I hope this is I went to grade school with Omicron. I went to grade school with Campho-Phenique. I went to grade school. Yeah. But after a panel on the World Health Organization have now said that this is really serious and that we need to be careful, and that Omicron is highly transmittable. We'll talk about that in just a little bit. Illinois public health officials reported 5,714 new confirmed or probable cases of COVID-19. And unfortunately, we've had 23 additional fatalities in the last 24 hours. As
That's
of
so
now,
sad.
we have had, and it is sad. As of now, we've had 1,809,800. Wait now. 1,809,875 total cases of COVID. This includes 26,114 deaths since the beginning
Yeah.
of the pandemic.
Yeah.
The
Crazy.
the 7-day statewide test positivity rate from November 24th through the 29th is now at 5.2%. Last night, when Kay Renee and I were talking, it was at 4.9% on last night's show. Today, it is at 5.2. As of today, Monday, 2,379 patients in the state of Illinois are in the hospital battling COVID-19. Of those patients, 457 are in the ICU. 217 of those patients are on ventilators. So now, here we are again. Kay Renee and I have been talking about this for the last couple of weeks. We knew that this was not going to be over anytime soon.
No.
Now that this new variant is out, do you have any concerns, fears? What are your thoughts on all of this?
Well, I'll say this. I think we all need to be aware, and we need to. I still feel like there are people who don't take it seriously, and that still makes me scratch my head and wonder where the common sense is in their brains. I don't get it. And if you haven't lost somebody, maybe you don't get it. Maybe there's a disconnect. Maybe there's just something missing from your brain. But I don't quite get it. I don't understand when we say put on a mask. I don't understand. And I'll say this again. That is your prerogative if you want to get vaccinated. Right. I feel like I'm trying to protect myself as much as possible. We all know that we were created for different reasons. And one creation are scientists, are doctors. So I'm going to do my best to stay as safe as I possibly can in terms of the things that I can do. But of course, I have no control over anybody else around me. I don't. And I'm not going to argue with you either. If you want to live your life the way you want to live it, that's fine. I'm not going to tell you what to do, but I know one thing, you're not going to be in my presence and my face and not have a mask on if we're inside. Right. Outside is one thing, because I can stand back, okay. But inside, and we're talking about whatever the situation is, it's not a close family, friend or someone who I'm seeing every day. It's someone who I may see once a week or once every whatever. Well, you need to put a mask on if you're talking to me. I'm sorry. And if you get upset and your feelings are hurt, oh, well, that's too bad. Then you know what? Love you, but I can love you from a distance and I can walk away. And I don't have a problem doing that. I love you, but if you don't understand where I'm coming from, I can't help you.
Yes. Well, earlier today, I went and got my booster shot.
Oh,
I got it. And the reason why I got my booster shot is yesterday, the news put some fear in me. I'm starting to get a lot of holiday invitations to things. And even though I'm fully vaccinated, I just want to make sure that I'm covered. We were just talking on Monday's show about the fact that people like to embrace me, hug me. People want to speak to me and things like that. And I don't want any particular fear. I love wearing masks. Right. I have a mask to match every outfit. So I just wanted to make sure I do the right thing. And while I was getting my shot today, there was a gentleman. He actually was 10 years older than me, really sharp guy. He was talking, to us as we were sitting there. And he said that he belonged to a men's basketball league of older guys. Okay. And then 5 of his playing partners died from COVID. He said, so this has scared him so much that he was like, listen, I'm going to get the booster. I'm going to do whatever's necessary. And he and I both were saying today that wearing a mask now is almost like getting in the car, putting a seatbelt on, or you getting up, putting your underwear on if you don't go commando or whatever the case. He said it's just a part of regular life. And he says that, you know, when he lost those 5 team members, he just couldn't believe it. He said, so he knew something was very serious. And again, a very nice looking man, physically fit, all of that. And he said all of these gentlemen that were on the league were, you know, physically fit guys, all of that. And they ended up dying from COVID. So yes, I went on and got the booster shot today, baby. I went on and got it. So
it is definitely something that we all need to be concerned about because it's no joke.
Right.
And I'm sorry, but we all have to pray for each other and we have to watch out for each other.
Right.
And that's the thing. It's like, just because you get vaccinated doesn't mean you may not get it. As someone just said, and it's the truth.
Right.
And it's the truth. So, I mean, I can't say we don't know. None of us know because none of us are God. So we can't sit here and try to say one way or the other. Nobody knows. Nobody knows. None of us know. So all we can do is do the best we can do. And it's really up to us how we choose to approach this situation and live. But it's really just, it's a sad thing when you see and you hear about this new variant. But again, we all have to stay vigilant, period. We just really do.
Yes,
because
we do.
It's not one thing or the other. It's a combination or whatever, right? We don't know.
Yes. Well, they're now trying to work on a drug that people may be able to take to kind of keep COVID at bay. The way I look at this, you know, there's been a lot of debate about, you know, how did they come up with a vaccine so quick? And, you know, again, scientists have been working on this for years. I know you work in the fundraising efforts of the medical field. So you're not a doctor, you're not claiming to be one, but it's amazing to me that, you know, tomorrow is World AIDS Day. We've not found a cure for AIDS. We've not found a cure for cancer, any of those, but they are aggressively working on this variant. And I think it's because of the economy and not wanting to shut down again more than anything.
I agree. And I know we have talked about this before when we talked about, you know, when this initially happened. And I think all of us were concerned about how are you able to pull this together so quickly? But then once you looked at what COVID or what this pandemic really was and what this strain really was, that it was just another strain of something that's already been out in society. Not like it was something that has never been seen again, that it was a SARS version. Then you start thinking, oh, okay, well then that would make sense that they would be able to pull something together because you're basing it on something that has already been here, that has already been around and in the environment and in the world before. So that really made me, I mean, I had to do some critical thinking on that. Because I really did. I like a lot of people, I think we all were waiting and seeing what was going on. But I always go back to, again, it makes you, we know we have to deal with this, but this is really politically based or economy based because I want to see the cure for AIDS. I want to see the cure for cancer. I want to see the cure for diabetes. I want to see the cure for sickle cell. I want to see the cure for all kinds of diseases. You know, I do. I want to see the cure for all these other things too. But again, all of this is always tied into a job, isn't it not? Everything is connected to the economy.
Because they were saying on World News tonight, not to cut you off, but they're so afraid of this where people are not going to want to come to work because they're already having a tough enough time to even get people to come to work. And so now this whole thing, they feel like people are really going to be paranoid about going into a public place to work. So we'll see, you know?
Yes, we will see. And a lot of corporations, as you well know, have already switched gears and told their employees, you're working from home. Unless it's, some of them are you're working from home. Some of them have totally changed to the virtual model, and then some are just you're working from home, and then maybe you come in a couple times a day. We're, like I said before, we're a rare situation. My organization is a unique. We have a unique situation where we're mostly in the office, and that's because we have separate offices. We're not in cubes. We don't have to be in each other's faces 24/7. We all have our own office with a door that is closed. So that's a real blessing. And most people don't have that situation. But with the work that we do, we have to be present too, because we're helping people when they need us. And we can't, unfortunately, be at home because people need to be here. And we have to be able to help if they're here. So we're everybody is putting themselves out there, and you're doing the best you can. But it's a really, this time in society is, I feel like it's something out of a sci-fi film.
Yes, I do too. I said from the beginning of this pandemic that all of this was of a biblical proportion when we really think about this. When we really concentrate and figure it all out, think about it. The world completely shut down. At no point in any of our lifetimes has the world completely shut down.
That's right.
And the fear is, or I'm thinking, the world may end up shutting down again,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know, like he just brought up that point. I know there are a lot of companies who've been doing, working from home, or especially if you're in IT, that world has been happening for a long time, like probably a decade plus. People have been working from home. But a lot of us whose positions and jobs involved communicating with people and trying to get relationships built face to face, this is totally different for a good number of us. That's part of what helps your business survive, is that face-to-face contact, is that connection with human beings. And so you've had to really be inventive. You've had to pull on your wisdom. You've had to do some new things and be very creative in order to make some things happen. But for some of us, it's been harder than others, because if you're a small nonprofit, it's even harder for people to know who you are. Otherwise, you would be out at events, people would see you, they would hear from you. But with this, it has been incredibly hard. So I am just keeping my fingers crossed that all of us can just work together to support each other, because we all need each other in this time to survive.
I agree. That's a beautiful statement you made, my friend. That is beautiful. You're absolutely right. Well, will the Illinois mask mandate ever end? That's the biggest question. Mask requirements have been lifted in dozens of states across the country, causing some to wonder, will Illinois follow suit soon? We are one of 6 states that the mask mandate is still in effect: Hawaii, Illinois, Nevada, New Mexico, Oregon, and Washington. Illinois is the only state east of the Mississippi River what's wrong? What's wrong?
Wait. What about New York? I was just there, and they had the mask mandate.
Well, it's saying that 6 states where mask mandates remain in effect. I don't know if New York, and I just pulled this today, so I don't know if New York is still kind of, people are kind of still following that guideline.
That's interesting. That's interesting. That's the reason why I look like that, because that's one main reason why I went to New York at the beginning of the month, is because I knew they weren't playing. Everywhere you went, you had to put that mask on. You had to show your vaccination card, or you weren't getting in. So that's why, and everybody's respectful of that on the subway, because I was riding the subway a lot. And it's, and I'll be honest, I haven't been on an L here, but I was on the subway in New York, because let's be real, it's going to be cheaper to get on the subway.
Yeah.
So but I looked at it and everybody was being respectful. I'm looking at the kids, I'm looking at the parents, I'm looking, everybody had on their mask. So I don't know about that one. I would
Okay,
assume that
well,
New
that's
York
what
is
they're
still got to
saying.
be on there.
But they said that Illinois has the second lowest positivity rate. And when this article was pulled, it was before the latest update, but they had it at 4.9. And we found out today that it's at 5.2. But, you know, I can imagine. I mean, here's the deal. I don't have any problem wearing the mask. I'm invited to a black tie dinner this coming Friday night. And you better believe I was in there looking for my formal mask so that I'm able to match it with my outfit, you know, and just be on the safe side with that situation. So, you know, we'll see how that all works. Well, we want to send our thoughts and prayers out to everybody in the state of Michigan. Michigan had a high school shooting this afternoon. A 16-year-old boy and two girls aged 14 and 17 were killed after a classmate opened fire at Oxford High School in Oxford, Michigan, which is a suburb north of Detroit. In 2021 alone, there were at least 138 incidents of gunfire on school grounds, so far resulting in 28 deaths and over 80 injuries nationally. And so, what do you think, Dion? These young people are so out of control. I sent you something about an 11-year-old.
Yep. That's what broke my heart.
Carjacker, a serial carjacker. And Lord knows I don't ever want to bring up anything that I know is a sore spot with you, but you being someone who has been a victim of a heinous, you know, just crime like that. What are your thoughts? I think our young people are just out of control when you know.
I say it, and I literally said something to someone earlier when I heard that. I think my mother may have told me that, and the first response, as always, where is the parent?
Right.
Where is this boy, this girl's, I assume it's a boy.
Right.
Where is the parent? Because this young person has to be parentless, or they have parents who don't have any common sense and don't know right from wrong and did not teach their child.
No.
And it breaks my heart.
Right.
Because for this child to be doing that, that means nobody has cared enough about him.
Right.
To pull him aside and to say, why would you think that was okay? It breaks my heart. Why should you be 11 and your role, your job is to carjack? Are you kidding me? I mean, it's just so sad.
And you're a serial carjacker. You're a serial.
Where are the parents?
Yes.
It really, honestly, I said it earlier because with you talking about that and the horrible tragedy with the young people in Michigan and what you hear and see all over Chicago, it makes me angry and breaks my heart. And it makes me think about the fact that we're also the teachers that would also be a driving force in that person's life, right? And I just found out earlier this afternoon about one of my former teachers who just passed away yesterday. So that made me a little sad. Miss O'Malley, she passed away. She had been when I was at Beasley Academic Center, that was my elementary school from 3 to 8th grade. And there are a lot of us that are still friends, which says something, right, about the way that we all were as kids, the fact that those teachers respected us so much. And we constantly talk about this at our age, 50 years old. And we talk about how much our teachers respected us in elementary school. That says something. My friend, my girlfriend's mom, who passed a couple years back, Dr. Dorothy Parker, she was another dynamic individual who they taught you more than the ABCs in science and how to dissect and your this art or that art or this math. I think about my father all the time because my mother and father, of course, educators, but they taught more than just what they were supposed to teach. They taught life skills. They taught you common sense. They taught you respect. He always made a point of teaching them basic common sense things. And something is missing. The parents, because it starts in the home. I don't care what you say. Is this child an orphan? Does this child not have any parents?
Preston said it
What's
best.
happening?
Parents are fighting at the airport. They them people you see fight. It's got to be, because here's the funniest thing, Dion. I really wanted to be a school teacher when I was much younger, but you just said something that the light bulb went off. At our age now, and I'm in some school, and you want to fight, cut up. I have a friend of mine that graduated. An accomplished music teacher, all of that. She and I went to lunch one day, and she told me, she said, "Oh, I'm probably called the BITCH at least 7 times a day."
That's horrible.
And I said, "Wait a minute now. You're the head of the music department. You are a woman that throws amazing holiday concerts. She said, "Honey, I am called the BITCH at least 7 times a day."
That's insulting.
She said, "I hope they don't push me down the stairs. That's how bad they are."
That goes back to what? How are you being raised? Because it starts in the home, period. It starts at home. So how are you being raised? Because if your parents aren't teaching you, and you don't have a grandmother or a grandfather to teach you, a big brother, big sister, an uncle, somebody, cousin who's helping you, it's sad. It's sad when you have cases like this and you have all this smash and grab stuff happening downtown and all over the country. Again, where is your common sense or sense of decency that you don't see something's wrong with this, that you don't think anything's going to happen to you, that you think it's okay to take stuff that's not yours and sell it? What is the problem? And did you hear the case of that poor child that died in his dad's custody? And there was a picture of the child with fake grills on, with foil on their mouth, making him like fake grills. But that foil supposedly had fentanyl on it, and he did not know, and the child died.
Oh, no, I didn't even hear about that.
The child didn't even live with his father, but he was visiting his father. That, when I tell you, shut down, that one made me want to cry. That one literally made me want to cry. This child is now gone because you think it was okay and you thought it was a joke to give your son fake grills, and it had remnants of the drug you selling on it. And so this child had no choice. The child died because of your stupidity. It just, oh my gosh. I get so upset about stuff like that.
It's a lot. It is a lot when you really think about it. It's just so sad. I feel it's a lost generation. I feel that, where you and I have come from and what we were about, and yes, ma'am, and no, sir, and being respectable and all of that. I think that I hate to say this, but I feel as if I'm 80 or 90 because of my morals and values. Yes. But I have a feeling we were the last group of people that had respectable morals, values, how to do I think we're the last generation of that. I really do.
It would be interesting to look at the groupings of the ages, right? The baby boomers and the Generation X and the Z and the Y and all that. It would be interesting to really look at that, because we know that they had started planning and looking at our young people way back when, and talking about looking at what you are in grade 3 to see if you're going to be incarcerated or not. And everybody's heard that. Right. But it makes you wonder what you're looking at now. Because if you have situations like this, to me, that says that these children obviously are not going to school. And who's telling them to go to school? Because it seems like people must be afraid of who's living in your house. But then you can't live in my house then, if you don't want to abide by rules. And if you don't want to learn, it makes you so sad. It makes you so sad because you're trying to figure out how can you get through. Because true, we know if something happens, you have to prosecute, right? But it's not just about getting a gun off a street. It's not just about locking somebody up. You got to get to the heart of what it's about. It's about what's happening at home, what's happening in the community, right? It's always going to be, there is something behind everything that happens. It's not just cut and dry.
Right.
And if you can't see that, then nothing's ever going to change. It's never cut and dry.
Preston asked the question, what happened to the church?
Well, that too. That too.
That's
obviously, I'm one person, exactly. One person who goes every Sunday because I sing. I'm the choir. So it's it's deep. It is so true, because you have so many people who we know you come to the church. You're supposed to come to the church not fixed, because nobody is fixed. Nobody is perfect. You're supposed to come to the church hurting, in need. And it's not about being special and being perfect when you come to church. You're supposed to come to church because you know you need a support system and people who care, and they want to teach, and they want to love on you, and they want to be a part of the community and help. That's what it's supposed to be about. Right. If you change it and make it something that is all commercial and all about money, and you're not doing anything for community, then what is the issue, right? What is it?
Yeah.
Then it's just you're running game, right?
Yes.
There's no point behind it. And sadly, we don't know what's happening in some churches. We know there's a lot of stuff because people take leadership and they run with it. They take it and they use it as a tool to unfortunately do wrong, and to do a lot of the things that they're supposed to be teaching against. Mm-hmm. We know this because we've seen it time and time. So I don't need to really go and pull up individuals' names. I'm not going to put them on blast on this show. Right. But we've heard about these stories either in the press or on the down low. You've heard of different people who have gotten caught with their mistresses and their girlfriends and their whatevers. But none of us are perfect. We know that. So you can't stand in that pulpit and act like you are. Right. You can only stand there and say, I'm trying to be the best person I can be, and I need all of you to pray with me, and we all need to help each other, hold each other accountable, right? Right. We all have to, because none of us are perfect. And I could go on and on.
Yeah. Debbie had made the comment that she raised hers to be responsible. We appreciate you, Debbie.
That's
and
right.
We know a lot of people who watch this show. I know Preston's a responsible dad. Wamelda. I mean, just people in general have all been just great, trying to be responsible citizens, parents, all of that. But then you have a whole demographic out here that is just back, you know what, crazy. And don't give them,
Yep. I mean, it's, oh gosh, the demographics, that's a whole nother topic, right?
Yes.
It just, there's so much that could be said. And I wish there was a way, I wish there was a plan, and that there was literally a blueprint for fixing, because we know there's a blueprint for divisiveness, for frustration, for confusion. We know there is, because it's been there since the beginning of time.
Yes,
we know if you've been taught to hate yourself, if you've been taught that you're nothing, or that you shouldn't love yourself because of who you are, what you look like, what skin you were in, then you're going to come out, you're going to come into the world without confidence and without love of who you are. And I think that's one thing that I can say. I feel like, if anything, I feel like you're saying in some regards more love for self, but we have to tackle what this pandemic has highlighted, which is the inequities that exist in our communities, even more so because of the pandemic. Mm-hmm. I think you're going to have to address that. You're going to have to address the fractured families and the education, the lack of education, and all the things that are really lacking in our communities. And if the pandemic affected the big boys, what do you think it did to the least of these?
That's right. There are people who are still not recovered from the economy tanking years ago.
That's what I'm saying.
And then now you're looking at a global pandemic.
Yes.
So, it's a lot to look at. It really is.
Yes.
Well, real quick, we want to say congratulations to the island of Barbados. After 55 years, Barbados has officially severed ties with Queen Elizabeth. One of its first actions as the world's newest republic was to honor global superstar Rihanna with the title of National Hero. During the distinguished career of this 33-year-old singer, she has racked up many titles: award-winning musician, billionaire makeup mogul, actor, philanthropist, entrepreneur, fashion designer, and now the star who was born Robin Rihanna Fenty in a Barbados parish of St. Michael in 1988, can now add to her name National Hero to her ever-growing list of achievements. The honor was bestowed on her Monday night in the presidential inauguration ceremony in the capital of Bridgington. The event marks the island's nation removal from Queen Elizabeth as the head of state, kickstarted an era of the island's first ever president. It's almost been 400. It's been over 400 years since Barbados became an English colony.
Isn't that crazy?
Isn't that crazy? Since 2018, Rihanna has held the title as ambassador for culture and youth in Barbados, and many of the islands they celebrate Rihanna Day, which is February 22nd. So now, what do we think about this?
I think it's all you can do is say shine, just like her song, shine bright like a diamond.
Bright like a diamond.
Keep shining. Just bright keep like shining, young lady. Because you can't do anything other than be proud of her. You cannot do anything other than be proud of this young woman. Yeah. Billionaire at her young age, billionaire
in makeup, in cosmetics.
Didn't have to tell anybody. No one had to tell her to give back. She just knew to do it because she came from the island. She knew to do that. Right. She knew that was one of the first things she was going to do was to give it back. Nobody had to tell her to do that. So for her to be at this point, a place where I'm sure she didn't see herself doing this as a little girl or being in this position, but the fact that that was God's plan for her, I'm so happy for her. And now she can use what? Right Honorable Rihanna.
Yeah. Baby,
I was like, well, excuse me. Yeah. Let us get to this place. But I think even more so what's important about this story is what? Taking control.
Yes.
African nations taking control, right?
Right.
Predominantly African nations. We're talking about the Caribbean, and a lot of nations are not singular nations. They are, commonwealths of whatever country. So this is really huge. This is huge.
Yes, it is. Yes,
it's going to be interesting. I truly pray the best for them because it's going to be interesting to see what's going to happen, because you just hope that they're able to work together as a people and that they don't end up having a lot of situations of fraud and
corruption.
Yeah, you just hope they don't, because I just look at all the work that Nelson Mandela did in South Africa, and then it was like all this stuff is still going on and almost feels like it's going backwards. That's the stuff that just makes you sad. It's like it should not take one leader. Everybody should work together to try to move something forward. You should not rely on one person, because we would be in a different state, wouldn't we, if we all tried to stand together and do what Washington asked us to do, right?
Lord have mercy.
We'd be in a whole nother place.
Right.
We'd be in a whole nother place.
We hope they don't end up like Haiti. You know what I'm saying?
Because
let's even look at the fact that the Haitian president was killed, first lady was shot.
That was so. Oh my gosh,
that
was just craziness.
Yes,
craziness. I think about that from time to time because I've always wanted to go to Haiti, and I was like, well, I don't know when I'm gonna get to Haiti.
Right.
It won't
Barbados
be
is very
anytime
good.
soon.
No. As a flight attendant, I flew in and out of Haiti. Never had layovers in Haiti, but just Port-au-Prince. Just I don't know, just sad in so many different ways.
Very.
Well, speaking of Rihanna, and you being the queen of telling everybody the importance of giving back, can you tell us 3 reasons why it is so important that people give back? And then let's talk about continuing to give to IMD Guesthouse.
Sure. Well, I think the first reason is that all of us were created for a purpose, and we weren't created to be alone. Right? Which means that we have to help each other because someone helped us. So that to me is the first reason, is that you didn't make it to wherever you are in this world by yourself or alone. That in itself should be a driving force for you to want to give. And we don't tell you how to give. Nobody can tell you how to give. Because it does not have to be financial.
That's right.
It can be in your time, meaning volunteering. And we, of course, appreciate our volunteers at IMD Guesthouse. Or it can be giving of your advice for something, right? Using your talents in some way. So there are so many ways to give back. You don't have to financially give back. So no one can tell you that. But you do, giving should be on your heart because someone else helped you. 2, I think a lot of times people have these thoughts in their heads of how can I give? What should I do? And they just need someone to tell them. So they may have a whole idea of, or have these philanthropic goals in their minds, but then they're confused. So that's another reason, reach out to someone and just ask, how did you do this? How did you do this? Is there a way that I can do this? Ask people, because that will help you be able to fulfill the things that maybe you have in your heart that you always wanted to do and you just didn't know how to do it.
That's right.
So it's about helping you fulfill what goals you already had planned for your life. And then the third point, I think that is just, I just think that it's good to feel like you're helping someone else. It's just good to feel like you are doing something that no one has to know. You don't have to, you don't have to give these grand gestures of $1 million if you don't have it. You can give $1. Right, to someone on the street.
That's right.
You could give some food to someone. Nobody has to know, but it just feels good to be able to give back. It just does. It feels good. And I think there's not one person alive who doesn't want to feel good about something.
That's right.
And it's wonderful to be able to feel good knowing that you're doing something or you did something small to help somebody else. It just feels good.
It does. It does. Well, what can we do on this Giving Tuesday to help give back to IMD Guesthouse? You did the benefit fundraiser today with Panera. You're a part of the Chicago Marathon, the upcoming next year's marathon. Let's talk about some of the ways people can give back, and then we'll talk about HIV, and then we're out of here.
Yeah. So I'm so grateful that today is the last day of our matching gift campaign. So anybody who's watching, anybody who hears me, I realize that everybody cannot do this. But if you have $200 and you're able to give us a contribution of $200, the Coleman Foundation here in Chicago will match that gift. They will give us $200 for everyone who gives $200. So you have until 11:59 tonight to go to our website, which Art has right there on the screen, imdguesthouse.org, and just definitely consider giving, because what we do is provide such a necessary resource for people who are coming to Chicago, and you may be coming from the west side, you may be coming from a far northern or southern suburb, you may be coming from downstate, you may be coming from Canada or Siberia. It doesn't matter where you come from. If you are referred to have treatment from one of our partner hospitals, which are Rush, UI Health, U Chicago Medicine, or Stroger of Cook County, and someone refers you and says, you know what, instead of getting a hotel, which may be more expensive, we know of a wonderful organization that has a guest house that's right across the street from our hospital. Why don't you contact them and see if they have space for you? Come to us. That is what we do. We support those who really need our resources when they are dealing with things like cancer, organ transplant, when their children are in the hospital dealing with a critical illness and disease, or dealing with military veterans who are being treated for PTSD. All of this is so important. And that's just the top 4 diagnoses.
That's
We
right.
take all diagnoses, we take all ages, inpatient and outpatient. So just imagine how much of a resource that is. And we do not kick you out. We do not push you out for an inability to pay. That is huge because you cannot, it's a different world outside of these walls. No one, if you can't pay, you would be escorted out. But that is not
Right.
the case for us. We
No.
try to support you as much as possible. And I will honestly say, Art, we've had some amazing situations that just happened within the last couple of weeks where we've had current guests who are staying here who just have felt like they wanted to give us a thank you card already. Literally, one woman
Right.
walked into our community room this afternoon and gave my colleague a thank you card because she just wanted to tell us how much she appreciated us cooking Thanksgiving dinner last week and not having to cook after they came home from treatment.
Right.
There was another young patient who also literally wrote the sweetest card to thank us because she didn't know where she would be without our support. And we had someone who literally had never given us more than a few dollars who said, you know what, in January, it will be my 8th year anniversary since having a stem cell transplant. So I'm going to give you $800.
Wow. What a blessing.
Okay. Just
Right.
just as sweet as can be. What can you say, right? You have circumstances like that. But because we are so small, we need all of you to spread the word about who we are and what we do. There are
That's right.
so many people who need us. And I'm excited, so excited, as I think I mentioned earlier in the month, we're so excited that we now have a stronger relationship with American Cancer Society, who's giving us funding to be able to support cancer patients who come
Yes.
here and need somewhere to stay. That we can now take cancer patients from any hospital who need to be able to stay and they need our services. So that's huge. But
Yes.
we need everybody to spread the word about who we are because we are super small, but we are a mighty organization. So
Yes.
please
Absolutely.
consider giving to www.imdguesthouse.org. And if you give by the end of the day, so obviously this offer is over at midnight. So the Coleman Foundation will match and give $200 for any contribution of $200 or more. So thank you in advance, guys. Thank you.
Oh, no, we love you. You do a great job. My late friend, Mr. Chris Moore, had nothing but glowing things to say about IMD Guesthouse.
And we miss him.
I'm still in shock, of his passing. But he really, that's how he and I reconnected as friends because of IMD Guesthouse. And then to know you and I are so close and your connection. And I just feel like it was all God. And that he really was a huge advocate of IMD Guesthouse and just the amazing things that you guys and the
Yes, it
service that you
was.
provide for people. So I just want to
Yes.
thank you guys so much.
Thank you. Thank you. And we only need 27 more people. So I'm putting that number out there. We
All
only
right.
need 27 more people to give us $200.
Yes,
And then we'll
yes,
reach our match of our goal match. So
yes. Very good. Very good. All right. Well, tomorrow is World AIDS Day. And before we go tonight, there will not be a Wednesday night edition of the Real Chat Daddy Show. Tomorrow night, I am a part of a commemorance of World AIDS Day celebration that will be taking place at Blanc Gallery. And it is during the time of this show. But we'll be back next Monday night. It'll be December, and we have plenty of great shows. We're going to do an evening of small Black businesses and their products on the show. Dion, you've got to look at your calendar, darling. I told you a million things we need to talk about because guess what? Our annual holiday show. Yes, people have been saying, when is the holiday show coming? And we cannot do the
oh my
holiday show without you. So,
gosh, that was
yes. So it's a lot
crazy.
of things that we have coming up in the month of December, a spotlight on small Black businesses. We're going to have our annual holiday extravaganza, which we did last year, and it was a huge success. We have just a lot of great shows coming up in the month of December. But tomorrow night, I will be at a commemoration ceremony commemorating World AIDS Day. The theme for World AIDS Day 2021 is inequality. End inequalities. Okay. So that means get rid of them, end AIDS, end pandemics. And so the symbol tomorrow is red ribbons, or wear red, in solidarity of people who are HIV positive and those that are living with AIDS. Very nice. Yes. AIDS continues to be a major global public health issue. So far, it has claimed 36.3 million lives. That's a lot of lives for us to have to grieve. And isn't that a lot of people?
Yes.
There's no cure for the HIV infection. However, with increasing access to effective HIV prevention, diagnosis, treatment, and care, including for opportunity infections. So when we say opportunity infections, that means infections that once were wiping people out, they're now able to eradicate these infections and keep people healthier. People are able to manage their chronic health condition a little bit better, and it allows people to live long and healthy lives, where they're non-detected and able to do the things that they need to do. There are estimated 37.7 million people living with HIV at the end of 2020, over 2/3 of whom, which roughly is 25.4, are in Africa, in African regions. Yes. So
that always gets me.
yes, I know. Same way with me. So remember, tomorrow, wear a red ribbon or wear something red. Try to do what you can to share and spread as much information about HIV and AIDS on your social media platforms tomorrow. Spread the word. It's all about positivity. How can we help each other? How can we love each other? Let's talk more in our communities. Pass out ribbons, still pass out condoms, pass out positive information that will keep people aware, and then try to watch movies. Ray Lewis Thornton is going to the White House tomorrow. She was invited by the president and first lady. And as you guys all know, Ray has been living 38 years HIV positive and with AIDS, and been doing just a great job as an advocate. So yes, tomorrow is World AIDS Day. I will be at an event to commemorate the day. So yes, absolutely.
Well, I'm happy that you are, because it is important. And I think what is most important is that we have to love on each other and support each other, and then continue to educate, right? Because that's the thing. None of us perfect, but we have to educate each other about the basic things that we should do in order to try to keep each other safe, but also just know that it's not a death sentence anymore. And I think that's the biggest thing when you look back at when it started, and it just broke your heart to look at those visuals and the films back in the day. it's wow. And here we are, 2022. I mean, almost, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
you think about where the state of the world is when it comes to AIDS. And again, like we said, I you would think, okay, are we ever going to get a cure?
Right.
Are we ever going to find a cure?
Right.
Because there are so many valuable people that are walking around that you probably won't even know or wouldn't even know
Yes.
are walking around with HIV.
Yeah.
And they're living their lives and they're productive citizens, of course, but they're living with what they weren't asking for. Nobody's asking for that.
That's
and
right.
so I think we all have to just really love on each other, respect each other, and just always try to support the movement forward for research, because that's so important. And I think back on just small things when we talk about ways to give, small things like, yeah, it was a Gap campaign, but when they had the whole red thing and they were selling those T-shirts, I have 2 of them because I just appreciate whatever word that was across the front of it.
Yes.
But the funds went towards Bono's campaign.
Right.
And I just appreciated, you always have to get tied in something, right? You have to capture people. And if that captures them, great. Same thing with the whole Red, Black, and Cool albums and Red, Black, and or Red, whatever.
My God, yes.
Don't you love I just loved all of those. I love those.
Yes, absolutely.
And I purchased those because I knew it was going back to fund to actually impact some of the research. So those are small things that you can do.
Yes, you're right. You're absolutely right. Well, Dion, as always, you've done an outstanding job. Scorpio Love says, Dion, you are a mighty woman and you're such a sweetheart and a genuine soul. Yes, she is. I couldn't agree more. I could not agree more. You are. You really are. Well, what's next for you, my dear? Anything? How's the holiday? Well, you'll be back with us because we got to do the holiday show.
I know I'll be back. It's great to say, here we go again. This is my, I think maybe second or third time where I've been here twice in a month, because that has not happened often. So I want to say this may be because that happened last December. I was on twice in a month. And so November, I was on earlier in the month, and see, I end out the month. So again, 2 times in a month.
Now, you know, somebody just said almost like the Black Barbara Walters. I said, right. Somebody said like the fabulous Black Barbara Walters. You know, icons can only be on TV once or twice a month. You know what I'm saying? Right. Yeah, icons can only be on TV once or twice a month. So we appreciate you. We appreciate you, Icon. We really do. Anything else you want to say to the audience before we leave tonight?
I want to ask everybody just to stay prayed up, to keep each other and lifted up, to love on each other. Thank you for bringing that back up, Art. Thank you. And for those, because we're excited, as Art mentioned, that we are a charity partner for the 2022 Chicago Bank of America Chicago Marathon. And we have our first 5 participants on our team that are confirmed. So being that we did this before the end of this month, we are going to be given 5 more guaranteed entries next month. So that means those of you listening to me, if you are a runner and you want to run in the marathon, but you also want to raise money for IMD Guesthouse, just stay tuned. Go to our website, stay tuned. We will let you know when those guaranteed entries are open again, which will be after December 9th. So stay tuned, but we will have 5 more slots if you're interested.
Very good. Very good. Well, I want to thank everybody. I'm not going to plug where I got the booster shot at today. Well, actually, I can. Thank you to South Shore Hospital. They took care of me very well today.
Oh, okay.
I did. I went to South Shore Hospital. I'm going to tell you the funniest thing. You have to sit there and wait after you get the shot. And so, you know, my comical behind. I'm sitting there, and the young lady said, you know, Mr. Sims, are you okay? And I was like, I'm fine. I'm fine. She was like, I said, you got any sugar cubes or carrots or, you know, you're right. And I was like, so other than that, no, I feel fine. I'm a little tired this evening, but other than that, I feel great and glad I got it done. You know, let it get in my system because I'm getting ready to be in full overload for the next 30 days. And I just need to make sure I'm well taken care of and protected, you know?
Yes, you do. Yes, you do.
Yeah.
So I'm going to sing a song.
Yay.
I'm just going to do a little bit because I love this version. And of course, I cannot do certain people justice. I can only do me. But based on what we've been talking about tonight, I just thought this was kind of appropriate. Too bad I don't have the background music.
That's all right. Wait, ladies and gentlemen, the phenomenal Miss Dion Nicole Smith. Give it up. Yay. Go right ahead, darling. Go right ahead.
Hello, Jesus. Jesus, children. Jesus loves you. Jesus, children. Hello, Jesus. Jesus loves you of America. Oh, are you hearing what he's saying? Are you feeling what you're praying? Are you hearing, praying, feeling what you say inside? You better tell your story fast. And if you lie, it will come to pass. I thought I'd sing a little bit of Jesus, Children of America. You know, that's a Stevie Wonder classic, but I was doing Layla Hathaway, Robert Glasper version of it.
Look, that was fabulous. I thought that was Dion Nicole Smith's version. I don't know about all them other people. That was you know, I just love the fact that you sing my show out. I mean, I feel like I'm on a level of Leno or you know, Callan or who does that? You know what I'm saying? Right. Thank you, darling. We love you so very much. It really was a beautiful song. You right. Look, come through, Dion. Right. Come on through, Dion. Yes. Amen. That was beautiful. Well, take your rest, my friend. You've done an outstanding job tonight. On behalf of Dion Nicole Smith and yours truly, Art Chat Daddy Sims, we thank you guys so much for being here with us tonight. Don't forget that today is Giving Tuesday. You have until 11:59 p.m. this evening to donate to your favorite organization. Tonight, we're showing some love to our friends at IMD Guesthouse, organization that I really have taken a liking to, not because Dion's my friend, but because I've had friends who have benefited from just the amazing things at IMD Guesthouse. And it's just ironic Dion happened to be there, but these friends had already given me testimonies about the goodness of IMD Guesthouse. So do what you can to be able to do what you guys need to do and make it all happen. Don't forget, tomorrow is World AIDS Day. Please wear your red ribbon. Please do what you can to make it all happen tomorrow. I won't be here. We'll be back on Monday with another great show. We're doing a spotlight and feature on small African-American owned businesses for the holiday season, and we want you guys to be a part of that. All right. Thank you, Scorpio Love. We love you as well, too. Good night to Scorpio Love. Gloria. Thank you, Preston. Thank you, Debbie. Thank you, Wamelda. Thank you, Candace. George, we appreciate you popping in on us tonight. Everybody have a wonderful night. For more information about yours truly, please go to therealchatdaddy.com. That is my website. That's where you can find out more information about me. Right there. Have a wonderful night, you guys. I'm getting ready to go lay down because I feel like I need another sugar cube and a carrot and some eggs. I do. Stop. My mane is growing. Y'all see my mane? Right. I was like, no,
yes, I will have different hair next time you see me. So,
oh, I'm sure, honey. I love that hair. Look, we almost matching tonight.
I know, right?
Right. I got to get my wig done. So, yes. Amen. Yes. All right. We love you guys so much. Have a beautiful night, everybody. Stay safe, be well, and take care of yourselves. God bless you all, and we'll see you the next time. Good night, Dion. See you later. Oh, wait. We got another comment. Let's see. Let's see what they, the comments come in after the show. Oh, thank you, Tamlin. We appreciate you.
Good night.
Yes. All right. Good night, beautiful people. We'll see y'all later. Bye. Good night, you guys. Have a wonderful one. Be safe. All right. Bye-bye.
It's the Real Chat Daddy Show.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Real Chat.